I got to tell you, one of the most intriguing things in Washington, being overwhelmed by other stories, is what's happening with the trade deals. August 1st is the cutoff. Everyone's focusing on China, and they're focusing on the EU. Well, today, let's talk about the EU, because their trade representatives in town. Could a deal be imminent? What's at stake? First off, when you talk about global trade, if you take the EU and the U.S., 30% of all global trade. 43% of the GDPs, adding to just about $2 trillion. That's why the president's focused on rebalancing this relationship. But it's coming out a much more respectful tone these days, making me think a deal is closer. Major U.S. exports, crude oil, obviously. We got natural gas, too. Civilian aircraft and parts, mostly Boeing, and petroleum, natural gas. As we know, we have picked up the pace in all those areas, released regulation. A major EU exports, we get medicine, we get cars, we get trucks and aircraft. So right now, joining us is the EU's top trade representative in Washington to try to negotiate this deal with Donald Trump's team in D.C. today. Kind of exciting. European Trade Commissioner Maroš Šefčovič joins us now. Maroš, thanks so much for joining us. What is the biggest point of contention at this hour between the EU and U.S.?
Good morning. As you know, the last mile is always the most difficult one. So I think currently what we are discussing is, I would say, the baseline of the tariffs and some of the sectoral issues linked with cars, with aviation, with the pharmaceutical business. But I have to say that we have excellent relationship with Secretary Latnik, with Ambassador Greer, with Director Hassett. So I believe that we can also use that relationship and all the figures which you so ably presented to get us a deal, because indeed we are the two biggest traders on this planet. I fully understand President's agenda that he wants to rebalance the trade. He wants to make America stronger, more industrial. And if it comes to industry, we have the same goals, because we are suffering from overcapacities in Europe as well. And I believe that together, as the two biggest economy, we can take on those who want to really, kill our industry. So I think that's the goal what we have.
Maroš, your biggest economy is Germany's, and the German Chancellor, Friedrich Merz, expressed confidence yesterday that the EU can close a trade deal with the U.S. in the coming days. The fact that you're here gets me excited, but here's the balance that Donald Trump wants to address. $370 billion U.S. to Europe, $606 billion Europe to the U.S. Deficit of $236. How do you rebalance that? And I know, listen, the U.S. wants the best deal, and so do you. But how do you rebalance that both sides will accept? What are the industries?
Yeah. I think, there are, of course, several steps to it. First one, I think we presented to our American partners very impressive strategic purchase list, which is in the realm of $1.5 trillion. And most of it is composed, as you rightly pointed out in your initial presentation. It's oil, it's LNG, that's nuclear fuel. There is something like 40 billion of AI chips. So, I mean, in term of President Trump, so this will be more than 700 billion of the purchases. Then we have something like $500 billion of investments coming here within the 3 years. And then we went painstakingly through 1,700 tariff lines to make sure that they are at the same level or at zero. And all this, I believe, would allow us to reduce the deficit at least by $100 billion in a year.
So let's just give the people at home an idea of where the money is. The pharma industry, $91 billion. Medicine, $49 billion. You got it, motor vehicles, $45 billion. Different machines, $16 billion. Aircraft, $16 billion. And motors, $15 billion. So these are what you're going back and forth on. Now, let me ask you something, Maroš. There's been some criticism on the U.S. team that they feel like they're getting different answers from Commerce, from Treasury, and your trade representative. Is that true? And if so, has it been ironed out?
I have to say that, look, I mean, such a big trading partners as TOAS, when we are talking about more than 4 billion of goods and services crossing the Atlantic Ocean every day. Of course, you have a lot of question marks on the table. But I can say that on our side, we work extremely well with Secretary Latnik, with Ambassador Gray, but also with Secretary Bessent. And I think they're pretty well coordinated among themselves. And I will continue all my meetings today. From here, I'm going to see Director Hassett. So I think that we just have to put this, this last push into making this deal, which will stabilize, I would say, the relationship between us, which would prepare as well for the future, and which would help us to deal with these huge subsidized overcapacities, which are harming economies on both sides of Atlantic.
I get the sense there's going to be an Oval Office, either speakerphone agreement or a handshake very shortly. It seems like you're too close not to get this done. Maroš, thanks so much for telling the American audience what's on your mind. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me. Brian.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.